Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about the practical aspect of manifesting what you want. I'm going to explain how to actually do it, what steps you need to take to make what you want happen. So the first thing is kind of a foundational step, and that is simply to understand how all this works. If you're not familiar with this yet, then this is where you need to spend some time studying these things and understanding that everything around you is all just consciousness. That it's all just a projection that you, at the level of the creator, are choosing through your assumptions. And by choosing those things, you are causing them to manifest as fact in the physical world. That is kind of covering the basics and understanding what you're dealing with before you dive in and start trying to manifest anything. Now, once you have that foundation in place, once you have that understanding of how this works, there are two steps that you need to take in order to get what you want. The first step is to choose. Now remember, when you're choosing, you are choosing at the level of the creator. This means that at this level, everything is possible. Nothing is off limits. When you're choosing, don't start off by looking around you to see what's available or to try to fix something. That's going about it completely backwards. You need to think of it as if you have a blank sheet of paper and you can draw absolutely anything you want on it. And whatever you draw, it will get created for you. That's how you need to see it. You need to detach from the current reality when you're doing this. This is where you allow yourself complete free rein. And you notice as best you can what your real desire is. And you choose that you get to have that, whatever it is. Now, as far as how specific you need to get, that is completely up to you. If you feel like you know exactly what it is that you want, then by all means choose that. Choose that you get to have that specific thing. But if you feel like you don't know, or if when you're trying to choose that specific thing, it starts to bring up a lot of conflict, then that's a clue for you that you need to loosen your insistence that it must be that specific thing. You don't have to let go of it completely. You can use it as a symbol. You can internally go, right now I feel like I want this thing, but I am open to having my desire fulfilled in some other way that I am not even thinking of right now. So either I will get the thing that I think I want, or my desire will get fulfilled in some other way that absolutely satisfies me just as much, if not more, than the thing that I think I want. So be as specific or as general as you want when you're choosing. Personally, I like to keep it very general. I just assume that life is going to be very good and that I get to have everything I want and need every single day without specifying what that is. I find that the more general and the more loose I am with this, the easier it is to do it, because it means that I have no attachment to things going this way or that way. So whatever happens, I just go, oh, this is interesting. I know this is all working for my benefit, so I wonder how this event is leading me to what I want. I automatically give every single thing that happens a positive meaning. And since everything is forming itself according to my assumption, I always prove myself right. And it always turns out that it really was a good thing that it happened the way it did, because it led me to the outcome that was absolutely perfect for me. Now, don't misunderstand me when I say this. This isn't about accepting something that is less than what you want. If something shows up and you can sense that this really isn't what you want, I don't mean that you should go, oh, maybe I'm meant to settle for this thing rather than go for what I really want. That's not what I mean. That's not what I'm saying here. What I mean is that if you were convinced you wanted one thing, and then it looks like the door has been closed on that thing and you can't have it, then be open to your desire being fulfilled some other way that you hadn't considered. But when it does get fulfilled, it will very much feel to you like this really has fulfilled your desire. There won't be any question marks or feeling like you had to compromise. It will be a feeling of, wow, this is exactly what I really, really wanted. It is absolutely perfect for me. Now, the moment you choose that you get to have your desired outcome, that immediately causes that outcome to be created, as well as the path from where you are now to your chosen outcome. So the whole thing is now already there, laid out in front of you. But now comes the next step, and this is where a lot of people get muddled up. At this point, the fulfillment of your desire has already manifested. It is all already there. But you, at the level of your human self, are at the start of this physical path that is leading you to your chosen outcome. So although the path and the outcome are already all there, although the whole script has already been written out from start to finish, you need to now physically walk that path and go through the passage of time at a human physical level and experience the unfolding of the story that you have caused to be created and laid out in front of you. Now, this step has a whole other aspect to it. At this point, remember, the path is already laid out in front of you. Everything is already in place. But now you need to physically walk that path. This isn't a case of sitting there waiting for your desire to fall down from the sky. You now need to actively operate in partnership with your higher self and take on the role physically that you have caused to be created for you by choosing the outcome. And most people miss this bit when it comes to manifesting. And it's understandable because the whole spirituality and manifesting thing feels like it's something very mental, something you do in your head. And that's true to some extent when it comes to the choosing part, but when it comes to walking the path, it is very much a physical human experience. And this is where it can get a bit confusing with the whole, should you take action or should you not take action and just let it happen? So the thing to understand is that you are not taking action to make something happen. The path is already laid out. You don't need to make anything happen, but you do need to walk along it. You can't sit there at the start of the path waiting for things to come to you. You need to take on your role and be the person who is walking along the path that is taking you where you have chosen to go. Now, what this actually means in terms of what you actually need to do physically is going to vary depending on what the desire is, depending on who the person is. But what it comes down to is a feeling that you are on a path that is leading you where you want to go. And you are allowing the higher self to both guide you in terms of what steps you need to take physically, as well as orchestrate things for you all by itself without needing your involvement. But while you are on this path, while this timeline is moving along, you are going to be doing something, right? Even if you're just sitting at home staring out the window, you're doing something. Now, this is where an element comes in that I haven't really seen discussed that much, because this is where you need to start to learn to use your intuition and to follow what feels right in the moment and trusting instinct over logic. It's about aligning with your higher self, trusting that you are being guided and letting that take you wherever it takes you. Bashar talks about this when he talks about following your excitement. This is what that means. It's about letting yourself go on this journey, letting yourself walk along this path that has been laid out for you. And the way you know what's the right next step to take along this path is by learning to listen to yourself and learning to notice what you genuinely feel like you want to be doing, as opposed to what you think you should be doing or what your logical mind thinks needs to happen in order for you to reach your chosen outcome. And it's a very in-the-moment thing. At this point, you're no longer focused on the outcome. That's in place, that's been set. But now you're focused on, what am I meant to be doing right now? What's the next step for me to take? And remember, this isn't a case of needing to make something happen. It's more of a, what does the script say I'm meant to be doing today? So it could be a case of, I am meant to just chill out today because there's no action for me to take and everything is being handled for me in the background. Or it could be a feeling of, I really want to get this thing done. I want to learn this new skill. I want to go and talk to this person. Whatever it is, the more you learn to listen within and follow whatever you feel you are being guided to do in the moment, whatever feels right in the moment, whatever you genuinely feel like doing in the moment, then the more you'll find yourself taking exactly the step that was needed very naturally and effortlessly, and the more things will start just falling perfectly into place around you. And the more you align yourself in this way, and the more you learn to tune in to what genuinely feels right in the moment without censoring yourself, then the more you'll start feeling this lovely flow where everything is just unfolding so smoothly, so easily around you, and everything is just being orchestrated absolutely perfectly with perfect synchronicity. Because by doing this, you're aligning yourself with the oneness of humanity, the oneness of who you really are. And you're allowing that magic to seep into your life. And you're letting yourself operate seamlessly within it. And the feeling of well-being that comes with letting yourself operate in this way just can't be described. You have to let yourself experience it to know what I'm talking about. So, to sum it all up, first of all, understand how all this works. Then, once you've understood that, set your destination. Choose what you're choose what you're creating next. Then, once you've done that, the outcome and the path are immediately created and laid out in front of you. And now, your job is to bring your focus back to the present moment and notice, what do I feel like doing next? And whatever that is, go and do it. And keep doing that and experience the whole journey from start to finish in that way. And if you do this, then the whole path will unfold extremely smoothly, and you'll find everything falling into place for you very, very easily, every single step of the way. So that, in a nutshell, is what you need to be doing to manifest anything you want. It's a strategy that I've been using for a long time myself, and it's something that I've refined over time as well. And I can honestly say that when you operate in this way, everything works out really, really well. So I very much encourage you to do this and to take this approach. Okay, so on that note, I am going to stop here for today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. As usual, if you've got questions, you can put them in the comments or come and find me on Facebook or through my website. Thanks for your support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.